Good morning, students. Our topic for today is all about economic development in Singapore. Before we start our main topic, let's explore first what Singapore really is. Singapore is a tiny island city-state in Southeast Asia with a total area of 718 kilometers squared or 543 times smaller than Zimbabwe. And part of Asian tigers, others are Hong Kong, Taiwan, and South Korea. Though physically small, Singapore is an economic giant. It has been Southeast Asia's most modern city for over a century. The city blends Malay, Chinese, Arab, Indian, and English cultures and religions. Its unique ethnic tapestry offers visitors a wide array of sightseeing and culinary opportunities from which you choose. A fall calendar of traditional festivals and holidays celebrated throughout the year adds to its cultural appeal. In addition, Singapore offers luxury hotels, delectable cuisine, and great shopping. The island nation of the Republic of Singapore lies 1 degree north of the equator in southern Asia. The country includes the island of Singapore and 58 or so smaller islands. Because of its efficient and determined government, Singapore has become a flourishing country that excels in trade and tourism, and it's a model to developing nations. The capital city, also called Singapore, covers about a third the area of main island. So let's move on to our main topic about economic development in Singapore. So the country in Singapore is a high income economy with a gross national income of 64,582 US dollar per capita. Then, despite its small size and lack of natural resources, Singapore's 5.7 million people enjoy the highest average incomes in the world, better than United States, Japan, Germany, France, and United Kingdom. So, the country ranks among the most world's strongest economies with a gross domestic product of 362 billion US dollar and collects various medals in the economic from S to doing business, less corruption, best property rights, innovations to beat investment destinations. After independence, Singapore continued to experience socio-economic problems, lack of natural resources, electricity, sanitation, proper infrastructure, and economic system. The majority of 3 million people were unemployed and poor. More than 70% of its population were living in slums and squatter settlements, and the territory was sandwiched between two unfriendly states like Malaysia and Indonesia. The government embraced the vision and focused on the following broad policies. First, embracing globalization. Singapore's foremost advantage is its location and the key trade route between Asia and Europe. The most feasible to the country's economic and employment was to embark on a comprehensive program of industrialization with a focus of establishing labor-intensive industries to create employment and take advantage of globalization through trade. In order to entice foreign investors to set up manufacturing plants in the country, Singapore's had to create a stable economic environment that respected property rights, that was corruption free and low in taxation. The targets for such policies were multinational corporations from United States, European Union or EU, and Japan because they had the capital, technology, innovations, expertise, and established markets. Today, the manufacturing sector provides 22% of Singapore's GDP, and the country is the leading exporter of computer chips, computer hardware, engineering spares, electronics, and various merchandise. The government continues to invest in state highways, ports, and technology to open access to markets for manufacturing expertise across the country. Singapore is now the world's busiest transshipment port, surpassing Hong Kong and Rotterdam in the Netherlands. In terms of total tonnage handled, it has become the world's second busiest behind only the port of Shanghai. Singapore's tourism and industry is also thriving, attracting over 10 million people or the visitors within that country. And the second is free market capitalism. A free market is one where the laws of supply and demand provide the sole basis for economic system with minimal government intervention. Key features of free markets are absence of forced transactions or conditions such as price controls, property seizures, government rates, and dictatorial economic policies. To promote private sector investment, Singapore established the Economic Development Board or EDB with a constitutional mandate to plan or to execute strategies to enhance Singapore's position such as global business center and grow the economy without political interference. Board is responsible for engaging investors, designing and delivering solutions that create value for potential investors and companies in Singapore. EDB has 18 international offices in 12 countries that are predominantly Singapore's trade and partners investments sources. Apart from making Singapore an international financial hub, it wanted the financial sector to play a key supporting role to the growing industries located in Singapore, such as manufacturing and shipping. Foreign direct investment or the FDI to Singapore countries to grow despite a slowdown in the global economy eclipsing 78 billion US dollar. And the third one is governance system. The state uses its revenues from taxation, investments, and trade modernize its education system. Singapore spends 10% from taxation of its revenue on civil service consumption, 25% on investment in infrastructure development, and 30% in social services, among others. Singapore has a strong governance ecosystem, one that integrates private infrastructures players along the whole value chain, from multilateral banks, private financiers, lawyers, accountants, engineers, and other professionals despite the background or affiliation, nationality, and age. A child born in Singapore has an 88% chance of being productive when he or she grows up because of access to quality education, health, sanitation, and employment opportunities. And the last is the accountability graft. A key factor in the development of any country is the level of corruption. This is an important factor used to explain the so-called resource curse widely prevalent in Africa where developing countries do not develop economically because natural resources, wealth, and public funds are diverted into the pockets of politicians, or just like corruption. The elite and the connected few at the expense of the impoverished and tax burdened public, so the poor become poorer or the rich become richer. So today, Singapore enjoys a well-earned reputation for a high level of incorruptibility. The success of Singapore in fighting corruption is the result of effective corruption control framework with its four key pillars of effective laws, independency judiciary, effective enforcement, and responsive public service, underpinned by strong political with a strong leadership. Singapore is the third less corrupt nation out of 175 countries. So, the country has achieved this remarkable growth through embracing globalization, respecting property rights, free market capitalism, investment in technology and education, and pragmatic government policies. To keep locals happy and flurry of foreign investment and relaxed immigration policies, the government provide housing and employment opportunities that would bring the nation political stability or to make their country grow or kanang the development will still continue. So the government of Singapore could have given any excuse possible like other developed countries from their limited geographical size or population, recurrent natural disasters, colonizations, lack of access to credit lines, unfriendly neighbors, lack of natural resources, global financial disasters, and poor infrastructure, but the leadership rose to challenge of solving national problems, implementing economic reforms, and lifting citizens in poverty. And one of modern day economic miracles happened. So the Singapore is really having the fighting spirit to grow their economic development.